Alright, on this set of tests, we had the negative tests for sodium chloride, sucrose, and fructose when we previously tested those with vinegar. So since we have negative tests, our test for these, they're still soluble, is going to be a Benedict solution. You remember what Benedict solution will tell us? Benedict solution should tell us if we have a monosaccharide or not in that group. So the first thing you have to do is have a baguette that works, and we'll add some Benedict solution to the sodium chloride, and then we will add it to the sucrose, and then we will add it to the fructose, and we're going to see what happens with those. So there's the Benedict solution added to sodium chloride. There's Benedict solution added to sucrose, and then there's Benedict solution added to fructose. And while we're watching those do their thing, what we need to do is to heat them up. So I have some water, hopefully it's getting a little warm. We're going to take them, put them into a hot water bath. And one more test tube holder. So I have all three of them in our hot water bath, and we're going to leave them there to heat up and see if they change colors. So that was our Benedict solution test. If we get a positive test on that, we will get something turning color. And if we get a negative test, there will be no color change. And then we'll have to do one more test, which will be silver nitrate, whichever ones don't change. So while we're waiting for that, we could go over to the ones that were insoluble and pull those over here. These were our insolubles: a carbonate, calcium carbonate, calcium sulfate, and our starch. And what we're going to do with those for a test is the iodine test. And so if we're going to do an iodine test on those, we will add a little iodine to each one. And if you remember what the iodine test does, it tests for basically a starch complex. So, and it should change color if we have one. So we put the iodine in there. Iodine you can buy in the, and if you look at that, it's a deep dark blue color. That is our starch. So we've identified the starch as being positive test to the iodine. The other two, our sulfate and our carbonate, didn't do a whole lot of anything. So we're going to take those two, our sulfate and our carbonate, and we're going to test them with vinegar to see what they do, if anything. As you look at that one, we're getting some bubbles forming. That's a CO2. That's a positive test for a carbonate. So that one would be calcium carbonate. This one is our calcium sulfate. And if we shake that up, it kind of dissolves a little bit, but it does not form bubbles like the other one did. So that's a negative test. So that would be our calcium sulfate. So we're down to watching for color change up here to see which one of those does that. And then we can do our final tests and C out of the three. I happen to know what's going to happen, so you know that's how that goes. This one, which is table salt, you'll notice there's not a lot of change in color going on with it. There is some change in color going on here. We're going to give that some time to heat up. The salt will not change. I can tell you that to help you out. So we'll take it out. We'll take the salt and we will add our silver nitrate to it. Because that would be our next test to see if we have a chloride, bromide, or any of the halides in our solution. And lo and behold, from our clear stuff that we would have had and our little salt, we're getting a cloudy, very cloudy solution showing a precipitate at the bottom. And all we have left now is to wait on the color change up here to see which one of these is the monosaccharide and which is the disaccharide on our test. And hopefully you can see what's going on in there. With our heating, and we'll give it a couple minutes. I don't want to go too far here. So we have tested the mono and disaccharide. We could drop some silver nitrate in there just to prove to you that they are not going to do much of anything. Remember, silver nitrate should get that cloudy form like we got. So there's some silver nitrate in there. That is fructose and sucrose. They test negative to silver nitrate. One of them is testing positive to our Benedict solution. And it would be that one. And you'll notice the color changing going on with it. We'll leave it there, see if it'll heat up a little bit more. And what we will have is a positive test to our Benedict solution for the silver, for the fructose, a negative test for the sucrose, and that would conclude all our tests.